What's going on, people? Welcome back. This is End Time, and you are at Drama Free Gaming. It is what it says, and it says what it is. I'm hoping that as you tune in to this episode, this podcast, this chat that we're having, you got a chance to listen to my previous uh, podcast. I heard a lot of good feedback from people. There was a bunch of comments as well, and I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys, getting whatever it may be that is positive and worth emulating and retaining. Uh, it's all good. It's all good. I was just sharing with you guys and just speaking off the dome about just the positive things that happened just over the last few weeks over the Christmas holiday season. And like I said, I appreciate you guys' feedback, and I'm glad that it spoke to some of y'all. Anyways, I'm back on the mic today to share a couple more thoughts, as always. One of the first things that I just wanted to just call attention to is in the background here today. I decided just to have my arcade lit up, and it has Centipede on it. I'm not sure how clear you guys can check that out. That arcade back there has, the joystick with the 6-button layout, just like in the arcades. It has the spinner, and I also have the trackball on there as well. So I, from time to time, feel nostalgic, and I want to play a game like Centipede was running there. And yeah, I get to play it with the trackball. I was actually playing Galaxian yesterday. For some of you guys who know what I'm talking about, Galaxian is an oldie but goodie. And I remember having not only Galaxian on the Atari, on the actual Atari console, but I remember having Galaxian like in one of those mini arcade cabinets. I mean, when I say mini, they were like the tabletop, like we kind of are seeing today, that they're making a comeback. Or maybe they didn't go away. Maybe for some of you who are retro heads, y'all been in that scene and y'all been collecting them and y'all have a couple of them. But they were mad fun. And I want to just share my thoughts today on that, on specifically on the retro gaming and Atari, because Atari has announced in partnership with GameStation, they have worked on and are getting ready to release here, I believe, in a couple of months, the Atari Gamestation Go. And if you guys don't have a clue what I'm talking about, I'm not going to run any video on it or whatnot. Just go look it up. Just type in Atari Gamestation Go, and you're going to see a bunch of people, even now, and other channels which are dedicated to retro gaming and Atari at CES, doing coverage and actually going hands on with this handheld that appears to me is going to be able to be connected to a bigger screen. It has SD card slot. It has HDMI slots. It has ports for you to connect other controllers. So it's looking pretty dope, and it's a tablet. If you can imagine a tablet with your 4 buttons on the side, like traditional 4 buttons like on a control. You have right underneath that, for you guys who remember the ColecoVision and the layout of the numbers on that controller. It has that as well, right underneath the 4 buttons. It has the bumpers, it has the triggers, it has the 4-way directional pad on the left hand side. It has the track. It has a track ball, small, but it's there for you to play your centipede. Excuse me, for you to play your Missile Command, another good one back in the days. And it also has the spinner. And so it's looking, it's looking kind of tempting there. I mean, Is it something that I personally need? No, I have uploaded on my arcade behind me. I have those retro games. I have a bunch of Atari arcade games. Centipede. I mentioned Galaxian, Asteroids. I have these games, and from time to time, again, if I'm feeling nostalgic and I want to go back, I jump on there and play the game, and it ain't no thing. So um it's pretty cool to see and to know that Atari is putting out um this tablet, and from what I understand, there's gonna be like 200 games on it, preloaded into it. Now, mind you, it has an SD card as well. So I'm not sure if we're gonna be able to dump our own ROMs into it. But 200 games, man, that's nothing to sneeze at. And it's going to be here in a couple of months, and it's supposed to drop for 149.99. That sounds right to me. That sounds like a great price for what's being offered. And I'm just excited. I'm excited. So if you guys are retro and then you're tuning in and you're watching this, let me know. Let me know what you think about the Atari Gamestation Go. And it's not the only thing that they're working on. They got a bunch of other machines that they are and games that they are releasing in different formats. So when you look up that Atari Gamestation Go, you're going to see that they have a bunch of other products that they are packaging games into and are going to be releasing. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And I'm hoping that, others will follow. I know that from what I've read and researched, looking at what Atari is doing now, they also have, I believe, a partnership with Intellivision, or they acquired Intellivision. And maybe they'll do something with those games on that system. I don't know. But it's a wait and see. It's exciting. I'm excited because I'm old school, and I remember these games growing up, and it would be cool to have it in a handheld format. Now, mind you, again, I can emulate and get these games, and I got a 3DS XL behind me somewhere on the desk that I'm running, Sega Genesis games on. So it's not a big deal. It's not something like, that can't be done, but to have something official like this, and to see the love and the work that Atari's actually put into it to include, again, a layout from the ColecoVision, to have a trackball, to have a spinner, is dope. I think it's dope. So I think it's worth the look. At least look at it. Um and yeah, and let me know if you check it out, come back here and let me know what you think about it, and if it's something that appeals to you, if it's something that you think you might pick up when it drops, or any of their other products that they're putting out that are going to be releasing around the same time. Like, I don't think they gave a definitive date, but I think they're still working on it. It's going to be a couple of more months before it does drop. So anyways, so what I'm going to share with you guys now is just I don't know if I should call it like an update as to what I chatted about on my previous podcast. And in order for you guys who are listening now, if you didn't listen to my previous podcast, this is not going to make any sense. So maybe put this on pause right now, go back to the previous podcast and listen to that. But if not, you can continue listening to what I'm gonna share if you like. So I laid out all my plans, like I shared with you guys, and got rid of just a bunch of stuff. And you guys know from what I said before, just the feeling, the overall feeling of just finally just getting things in order. And so what happened right after that was amazing. And again, I don't believe in coincidences. uh I believe there's a design for everything. There's a purpose, a time, and a reason for everything. And I believe also that if we are doing everything within our reach and within our power, um when the opportunity presents itself, we at least will be better prepared to see it and to take advantage, hopefully, for the good, for our good, and for those that we care for, and and if you're like in my situation, and we provide for. And for that, guys, we have to be, again, in my opinion, we have to be purposeful. I said before, and I'll say it again: when you fail to plan, you're literally planning to fail. And if you aim at nothing, you're gonna hit nothing 100% of the time. This is not it's not easy. Life ain't easy, right? Life is life. Life has its ups and downs. Life is beautiful. Let me just say that life is beautiful because it's not what's going on around us that should be our focus. And when I'm talking about, things that are outside of my reach, outside of my control, uh things that happen that I can't change, I can't alter. That's the macro world. That's the big world out there, right? The one that we are all living in. And the reality is, there's going to be tragedies, there's going to be disasters, there's going to be crime, there's going to be hate, there's going to be all this stuff, because that's life. That's the dirt ball we live on. That's just reality, right? And and it's a shame that sometimes we allow ourselves to be pulled into um the narratives, to be pulled into the spectacle. And it's there in our face, it's presented to us, through all sorts of media. And if we're not purposeful to unplug and to get away from that mess, guys, we're gonna be miserable. No wonder we suffer from PTSD and anxiety and depression and stress and all this other stuff, anger issues and all this other mess, because we're not taking the time and being purposeful to do life, with those who are around us, who are positive, who are good, who are there in the struggle with us, and they're pressing on, and they're available, and they're cheering us on. And instead of joining that crowd again, we easily get sucked up into the other mess. There's a reason why the channel is called Drama Free Gaming. I mean, emphasis on the drama free. Let me not even get into the whole, what's happening in the quote unquote gaming industry. I mean, that didn't happen overnight. As a matter of fact, that's always been around. There's always been some drama in gaming. There's always, just because it's a slice, it's an insignificant part of life. There's drama that surrounds us 24/7. But what are we to do? I'll tell you what we're to do. We're to be purposeful and remove ourselves from that mess, and gather around your people, gather around your family, your friends, your loved ones, gather around them people, and 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 press on, press on and be purposeful about being ready to take advantage of the opportunities that present themselves. So I and my wife sat down how we had done many times in the past as we were raising our kids who are grown right now. And we said, you know what? It's time to take care of us. It's time for us to handle our business. It's time for us to put our house in order. We ain't getting any younger. And so we did that. I'm not gonna go into all details and everything. But once we did that, guys, here comes opportunity knocking. Maybe I did a terrible job at making the sound effect there, but opportunity came knocking. And so what happened? I got a call from a previous business partner, and to be honest, a friend, a brother. I call him a brother, and he had actually called me like, I want to say probably like 2 months, like right around the Thanksgiving holiday. And I'm gonna be honest, man, I ain't one to like to talk to people, and especially if you've like been out the loop for a while. And so I hadn't talked to this brother for like, I don't know, several months, maybe a year, whatnot. Not that I was mad or had anything against him or whatnot. It was just like like the first thought that jumped into my mind when he called, and I think I actually told my wife when I saw his number come up on my phone. I told my wife, I said, "Oh, it's so and so." I'm not gonna say names, you know. I said, "Oh, it's so and so. I don't really want to pick up this call. Like, I don't want to talk to him right now. Like, I'm good. Um, I'll get back to him." It's what I told myself and I told my wife, and that was that. And then the weeks, passed by. The holidays came on top of us. All bunch of all this other stuff happened and whatnot. And we got to where we were on the other side of 2024, and we sitting down and we did our budget and took care of our business and whatnot. And then I get this call from this brother again, and I'm like, this gotta be serious. and I say it gotta be serious because I know this brother. Like, I worked with him for over 10 years in my previous position with him when I left my job as a social service worker, and got the opportunity to partner up with him and his wife, and just do what we did. And so it was great. It was a decade long that we were building something together. And I'm not gonna lie, it was lucrative. It took care of me and my family, and I was able to do for my kids and for myself and my wife. But let me tell y'all something. Let me pause here for a moment. Time flies. All right. 10 years. I'm talking about, in my specific example, from 2012 to 2021, almost 22. And it was years where there was abundance. I didn't lack anything. All right. I didn't lack financially. And like I said, I was just blessed. I was just able to do. But those 10 years, all I did was live. I don't have any regrets. Let me say that. But in those 10 years, I just wasn't in the same frame of mind like I am now. Thinking about the future, thinking about what I want that future to hopefully look like if my Lord allows me to make it and to live into old age. And so those 10 years, I mean, I think I didn't squander them, but I didn't really do anything to set myself up for an inevitable future, a future where it would just be my wife and I, and my kids would be grown. And, you know, eventually my wife and I would hopefully retire and not have to continue working because we have to, but work if we wanted to. And so, anyways, I'm sharing that with you guys because some of you, you know, you might be younger than me, and you're not thinking about the future. You know, you're not thinking about old age. You enjoying your time now. You're like you're making that moolah, that money, or how I've heard it referenced, that guac. I don't even know if that word is even used. I thought guac was guacamole. But anyways, making that cash, and you know, you're out here and you see the latest and greatest, or you see something shiny, or you see something that you like, and ain't nothing wrong with you getting it and picking it up and you know and having it. I mean, look at me, look at me. I got an arcade behind me, you know. Um, I built it, okay, but I built the computer that's running the games. You know, I got multiple gaming systems. I got a lot of toys. But what good is it, right? If I got all this stuff and I ain't got nothing laid up for myself for when the time comes that I can't do what I do now. You know, we all getting older. That's just reality. And so, you know, this brother calls me, and now my thought is something's going on. And I at first I was like, I hope everything's cool because, you know, I know this brother, and he wouldn't call me like that if there wasn't something, you know. Um so I talked with him, and he presented to me an opportunity to come back into partnership with him and come back into the position that I held before. Um and so here we are. I'm so thankful. I am I'm so grateful. Uh I really am, and when I say that, I'm not just saying it to you guys. I'm saying it to my Lord and my God. Um, he more than looks out for me, and I really think it's because when we do decide to be purposeful about our life, and we remove the clutter, and we focus on the important things, and we want to live a good life, we you know I'm not thinking here to myself, and I've never thought that way. Oh, I want to be a millionaire. Now mind you, if that's your thoughts and that's what you want to do, more power to you. My ideal is I just want to be in a position where I can continue to help others, to bless others, you know, and a big part of it, I want to be able to do that financially. I mean, I counsel people now, um, and I'm thankful for that. But sometimes, you know, I wish that the same people that I counsel, the same people that, you know, I pray with and pray for, I wish that I could help them get to the place where they need to be. Not the place where they want to be, but the place where they need to be. And sometimes, guys, the reality is that the financial is what holds some people back. And that just, it bothers me because I've been there and I've done that. I remember when I was making less than $10,000 a month, a year. When I started out with my wife and we started out our family, I was making 19, I think it was no $18,000 a year. You do the math. And you're gonna say, oh, but the cost of living was different and the prices wasn't. Yeah, you're right. But we had our own struggles. We had our own struggles and we had to tighten the belt and we had to do without a lot of things, and a lot of those things were games, of course, and going out and buying things that we did not need and not being able to participate or go visit or whatever it was that caused money, we couldn't do it. And you know what? We wasn't sad about it. We wasn't, boo-hoo crying in a corner, whatnot. We took care of our home. We took care of ourselves and our kids, and we were happy, man. Let me tell you, I still talk to my kids who are grown today, and they would remind me of Christmas. And one of the Christmas that they remind me of all the time, and it stays in my head whenever they talk about it and they've spoken about it. They say, they remind me that there was a Christmas that they remember vividly where they said it was one of the best Christmas they had because we laid out a comforter blanket in our living room floor, living in New York, in the Bronx, in housing, in the projects. And we laid out that blanket in the living room floor on Christmas morning, and we opened up some movies that I think we had already purchased them from before, but we just like opened them. They were like VeggieTale movies. Now, I don't know if you know anything about VeggieTales, but you should go check that out. Especially if you got some small kids, you want to expose them to some good stuff. Expose them to some VeggieTales. Anyways, we opened up the movies. We put them on. We made breakfast like we traditionally would do after we would have our little, family gathering, and we would just go around and give thanks, for what we were thankful for. In my family, we would do our devotion and read the Christmas account straight from the Bible and the birth of Christ, and then the what we know as the three wise men coming to visit him, and all that good stuff. And after we would do all that, then we would crack the gifts open, and you know the way they remember it and they enjoyed it, man. It wasn't the way I remembered it. That was one of, if not the poorest, and I'm talking about financial wise, it was one of the poorest Christmas that we had because neither my wife nor I had money for gifts. And so this was all that we could do. But my kids remembered it as something totally different. And when I remember them telling me how they remember it and how that just left an impression on them, and how happy they were that we were all together and having breakfast and watching the VeggieTale movies and just being together, man. I just, I just say to myself, wow, how easily we can miss it. Because here we are, as grown-ups trying to do the grown-up thing and give our kids better and do better and trying to please so and so and so and so. And let me tell you, all of that is unnecessary. Unnecessary. And that's why I'm sharing with you today. Because we just need to be purposeful. We need to be purposeful about what we doing and how we living. And stop having the pity party, stop boo-hooing, stop, doing those things that that are just retarding progress. Every little thing we do has a consequence, positive or negative. Every little thing that we do. So don't think of it as a little thing. Think of it as, hey, if I do this, what's going to happen? And you know what? Don't think so much to the point where you start creating scenarios to just justify yourself and and then go right ahead and do that very thing that you shouldn't do. I was sharing with one of my sons who was down here. I had a little time to talk with him, and I told him, I said, just remember, if you want to be somewhere or do something or accomplish something, you're gonna have to give up something else. There's always a give and take. If you're gonna play now, you're gonna pay later. But if you pay now, pay the price now, put your head down now, bust your hump, keep your little nest egg and keep growing it and be zealous over that, protect that. If you take care of your business now, you're gonna be able to play later. I don't want to live my life, and I don't want to see you guys living your life, whether you're 25, 45, or older. I don't want to see you living the rest of your days digging yourself out of a mess that you're in right now. And I'm not saying that we shouldn't dig ourselves out. No, we should sit down, we should make the plan, we should do all those things, we should be purposeful, but we should have that end goal in mind, and we should be losing our minds to get to that point. As hard as we chase after things that have no significance, that have no value, have no importance, we chase hard after things that we want, and we get them one way, shape, or form. We get it. And how do we do that? We sacrifice. And sometimes, a lot of times, we're sacrificing our future just so that we can have it now. And that's what's messed up. You know, that's what got a lot of people shackled. And I'm just a dude, I'm just an older guy talking a little bit of experience. This opportunity that was presented to me, once again, I'm thankful, I'm grateful. And you best believe that the first 10 years that I was here doing what I was doing, it ain't gonna be the same now. Going back and knowing what I know now, I'm gonna make it count. Yeah, I'm gonna take care of my bills and take care of my future as best as I can. I got a plan. And I'm hoping that you get motivated and put a plan together and don't procrastinate anymore and be encouraged. Don't tell yourself, oh, this is impossible. It's not impossible. It's not impossible. But you gotta start like right now. So that's what I got to offer you today. Just to tell you, I guess, I don't know, an update or to tell you the good news or whatnot. Hopefully it's of encouragement to you. I'm looking forward to my future. I'm looking forward to what's gonna happen. And I'm not just talking about 5, 10 years from now. I'm talking about in the next couple of months, the next couple of weeks. Being purposeful, being ready, looking for the opportunity. And once the opportunity presents itself, grabbing a hold of it and running with it. That's when it's good to be living in a manner where your life is drama free, where you ain't caught up, and when you're surrounded by good people. Just like I was able to pick up the phone and call my brother from another mother, Jay, and just run it through him. I mean, I just ran everything I just shared with you. I ran it by him in detail, of course, and whatnot. And this brother tells me, he said, Anton, you just thinking too much about it. It's a blessing. It's been dropped in your lap. Run with it. And I'm glad he told me that. And he's getting his own blessing too. He's in his own process, and I'm hoping that um, you know, those doors continue to open. Uh, but we're grinding. It ain't just coming to us because we got some genie in a lamp or something, a magic lamp. Nah, we on our hustle. We doing what we need to do. We taking care of our business the best way that we can, and we're not making any excuses. And that's my encouragement to you. Take care of your business. Stop making the excuses. Be encouraged. And trust me, you're going to be more encouraged when you put a plan together and you start to execute it. And you'll see how things just start happening. But it's because you're being mindful and purposeful about things. So, all right, guys, I ain't got nothing else to say. Just want to get those thoughts out there. Hopefully this is of use and a blessing to others. I start off the top of the show talking about the Atari Go. Um, go check it out. Go check it out. I think it's dope. I mean, people are talking about the Switch 2 and why Nintendo hasn't made any announcements and why. You know what, man? Just chill. Just chill out. It ain't like you ain't got nothing to play right now. Why we always chasing the next big thing? Just chill. Go play your backlog game. Go do something with your life. Go get some sun. Go get some fresh air. Go do something with your family. Instead of worrying about, well, when is Nintendo gonna announce why they're holding it back? Because they want to. Because they can. Stop salivating. Hey. Anyways, that'll be another rant for another time. But for now, you know how we do here. We keep our life and our gaming drama free. And with that, I'm going to catch you on the next one. Later.